G'day everyone and welcome. This is Basin CC here, coming at you live with another episode of the Madden NFL 19 rebuilds. We are currently doing the Los Angeles Rams rebuild, and with that we are going to get right into it. We are using their existing record um, of 7-0. We are at the week 8 just before the trade deadline. We are going to begin this episode, or the start of the episode, in the first year by going into a trade deal. We are going to go into the trade center and we are going to go manual trade with the Jaguars. And we are going to look to pick a defensive left end, I think he is. There we go. We're looking to pick up Dante Fowler Jr. with our third pick overall. There we go. Of 2019 draft. So that one. And we'll see how we go with the deal. Okay. So they don't want to get our original picks. So what we'll do is we'll give them next year's and a fourth. And okay. And then a 6. Nope, okay. We'll do a third and a 6th round and a 5th round next year. So 2 3s and a 4th will get the deal done, and that is the realistic of the team. So let's have a look at we have to cut one player. So we'll do it in sequence. Cut one player. We'll just cut the shitty tight end there. We'll look at our team before we begin the rest of the season. So we have as our team, we have our offense with Whitworth, Saffold, Sullivan, Blythe, Haverstein, and then on tight end we have Higbee and Everett. On in the back we have Jared Goff and Todd Gurley with Malcolm Brown and is it Justin Davis as our running backs, as well as Kelly there. We also have our fill-in fullback, which is Everett. Our wide receiver core is filled with Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, Kay Hodge, Robert Woods, Jake Reynolds, and Williams. Then on the defensive side of the ball, we have at defensive tackle, we have Sanu, Joseph Day, Fowler Jr., Westbrooks, and Franklin. We're just going to actually fix up this. There we go. Then at right end we have Aaron Donald, and at left end we have Brockers, and then we also have Fowler Jr. as well. Then in cornerbacks we have Peters, Shields, Williams, and Robbie Coleman and Hill. On our injured list would be Talib. Then in free safety we have Joyner and Johnson the third as our strong safety. Then in the middle field, in the middle and the back, we have Epicam, Barron, Littleton, and Longacre. Special teams we have. Let's get underway, and let's first by starting off with the trade negotiations. So we do want to bring Fowler Jr., so we'll offer him a contract. We'll just offer him the base contract. Great. We will bring back Sanu, but he will start regressing, so we'll just hopefully the contract sticks. Yep. Joyner will bring back, because the first year we're going to not have many picks in the draft, so we're going to try and keep as many players as we can that are good fits. And at the moment we've got a couple of players which we like, and some that we'll probably get rid of. We'll definitely pick up Morgan Fox. That is a person we want to keep. He is injured, and so he'll be out until next season. And then we have just a couple of other players. I will pick up Littleton. Littleton's a big player that we'll keep just because he's so young. He wants more money. and then everyone else will probably look to get rid of. We could bring back Malcolm Brown, but we're definitely keeping Jermaine Brown, and probably easily as well. So there's a couple of players, and the rest of them they can all go. But other than that, we'll see how we go. And yeah, so we'll advance to the end of the we'll sim to the playoffs, and yeah, we'll do that together. So in this series, we're going to be doing in this episode, so we're going to get to all the way to a 5-year rebuild, hopefully reach the playoffs, and I mean Super Bowl, and achieve the Super Bowl for a couple of years straight, and we'll see how we go. So of course we make the Super Bowl. We have some skill points to do, but let's go into the standings. So we finished 14-2, which is a really good. The Seahawks go 9-7, and the 49ers go 5-11, with the Cardinals going 5-11-1. So let's have a look at our team. So Whitworth became a 93 overall. We have all B- and A's for our offensive line. Saffold an 80, Sullivan an 80, Blythe at 78, and Havenstein an 80. We have Higby and Everett at 80 and 77. We have Cooks up to an 89. We have Cup at an 85, and Robert Woods, which will give 1 skill boost to. With possession, we'll keep him at an 87. So that is good to know. And then we have Todd Gurley up to a 96, and we'll give Jared Goff 1 point in Scrambler, just to keep all the other stuff up, and he'll move to an 88 overall. So not too bad to start off the season. Now looking at our defense, we've got a bit of points going around with not many upgrades occurring. We have Sanu, which we're going to give 1 skill point to, and we're going to give that to Run Stopper, and he'll go to a 97 overall. So really good stats for the moment, and of course with superstar development. So we officially have an 88 overall team. So let's have a look at our yearly awards. So the MVP went to Matt Ryan with an 8-8. Okay, I thought we were going to Drew Brees with 12-4. Patrick Mahomes with 12-4, and then Todd Gurley comes in number 4. Goff at 5. Kareem and Trubisky reaches out the end. Coach of the Year went to Adam Gase with the Dolphins. We got number 2 with Peyton also at 3. Looking at the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year, of course, went to Matt Ryan. Todd Gurley at 4, Goff at 5. Defensive Player of the Year, Donald comes in 2nd. Barron comes in at 4. Corey Littleton at 7. And then that was it. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Saquon Barkley. We didn't have anybody on the list. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we also did not have anybody on the list. And yeah, so let's have a look at some stats from the year. So let's have a look at the stats. So Jared Goff throws for nearly 5,000 yards with 34 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That's a pretty good. Todd Gurley goes for 1,400 rushing yards with 18 touchdowns, and a couple of 365 by Brown, and then everyone else sort of just chipping in the low hundreds. Receiving, we had two players reach over 1,000 receiving yards with Robert and Woods. Robert Woods getting 9 touchdowns, 6 to Cooks, 3 to Higby, 4 to Gurley and Cooper Kupp, with 7 working in the slot. Defense, we have quite a few tackles there. We have 8 tackles for loss going to Sanu. The most tackles went to Corey Littleton. Most sacks went to Aaron Donald with 17.5. Absolute monster with 8 to Sanu. When we look at interceptions, 3 to Johnson, 2 to Barron, and then everyone else sort of contributed as well. Now, did we get any safeties? We got 1 safety by Littleton, and looks like we got a couple of defensive touchdowns by Joyner and Peters. And Not expecting any kick return, touchdowns, or punt returns. Nope, unfortunately not. But we're going to be going into the playoffs with a first week bye, so we'll go to that, see them through, and see who we'll come against. So we'll go up against the 10-5-1 Redskins, and we're going to skip through that because we should hopefully win, and we don't. I jinxed myself. We lose 27 to 24 somehow. So that is somehow embarrassing, but also quite funny. But let's have a look at the Pro Bowl, see who reached the Pro Bowl. So we came in the number 1 for the NFC, Drew Brees at number 2. Todd Gurley is the number 1 running back for the NFC. We had Robert Woods as the 4th receiver. We had Saffold go for left guard. Aaron Donald for right end. Sanu for defensive tackle. And I don't think we got anyone else. No, unfortunately we didn't. So, that is that. Who is the Super Bowl is between the Steelers and the Saints. I'm tipping that the Saints will win. Well, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. And the Saints do win the Super Bowl. So Drew Brees wins that Super Bowl. And let's have a look at getting all of our players back that we want, that we didn't fix up before. So let's get some more coin into these contracts, make it a 37 mil contract for Lamarcus Joyner. He's going to stay. And we're going to lift Saffold's contract to 23. We'll go 23 and 23.3. And he's going to stay. And we're going to let Sam Shields go because he is getting old. Same with Westbrooks. We will keep Corey Littleton because he had so many tackles for loss. So we'll bump up his contract. Definitely deserves. Yep, we'll give him the 8.7 mil. He'll stay right to here. We'll keep Long Acre. Just off from that. We won't keep Easley. Malcolm Brown we don't need. Jamon Brown we don't really need. Oh, we could bring him back actually. Just on a 3-year deal. He's a core interior player for us. And then everyone else we can let go. So, let's sim. And we won't go into free agency just yet. We'll have a look at transactions, and I can tell we've probably lost some people to retirement already. But let's have a look. So we're going to go we're going to go up to retirement. So retirements, we had Adrian Peterson, Andrew Whiteworth retired, Tom Brady, Ryan Fitzpatrick all retired, Brandon Marshall also retired. He was released from the Seahawks. Josh McCown. John Ryan retires after moving to the Jags. Interesting. Larry Fitz retires as well. Zach Miller retires. And then most of your free agents. And then we had Andy Reid also retires. So, all interesting changes, you know, just new changes. So, for the rebuild, for the draft, we want to try and get to left tackle and a center. Sullivan is regressing, as you can probably tell. On defense, we're looking okay. Sanu is probably going to start to regress. We definitely want to get some middle linebacker and probably left outside linebacker fixing up, and some depth probably is what we're going to be drafting. So let's have a look at some free agents and see who's on the market. So, Le'Veon Bell is out on the market, not surprised with being released by the Steelers. So let's have a look at top positional players. So Tyrod Taylor's out there on the market. We said about Le'Veon Bell. You also had Ty Montgomery, Latavius, Marshawn Lynch. And then fullback we don't really use in our squad, but wide receivers we do. And we have some interesting picks out there, but we don't have anybody at young ages which we would like to pick up. Moving to tight end, we don't really have anybody who is out there that we're looking to pick up. If we were to pick up anyone, it would probably be Jesse James, but no. Left tackle, we'll look to pick up somebody young, and that's a 68 overall. Probably look to the draft for left tackle. Left guard, we are fine with for the time being, with all these guys being aged players. Center, we should be looking towards the draft as well. I would pick up, yeah, we will put in an offer for Sakua. Just see how he goes. And then right guard, we should be, yeah, we've got plenty of players. And even right tackle if we wanted to switch them over. So we've got some good players there which we can probably learn and get to develop. Now we don't need many players on defense. We probably will need some new players getting into the mix. Aaron Lynch is an interesting one out in the market. No one there, but looking at outside linebacker, there's quite a few positions which we could look to pick up. We'll probably pick up Smith. We'll just offer him a contract and see how he goes. Being 26, not expecting him to be there for too long. We will be needing a new cornerback because Talib is going to regress very quickly. So we're probably going to have to look for somebody who's a scheme fit and who is young that we will like to pick up. And looking at it, it's going to be hard to pick up the players we want. So we either got man-to-man, which is what we like to play. And we're probably going to have to try and pick up Trey Williams. We'll just offer him the contract. He doesn't have quick development, but he is a 79 and will go up. So we'll see how he goes. Free safety, we're fine for the moment. We've got a joiner there who will become a really good free safety. And similar with strong safety, we've got a good team there. And then we're good on kickers for the time being. So let's sim to next stage, and I will let you know at the end of the draft which players we pick up and which players we don't. So to look at our picks from the 2019 draft, we traded down from the first round pick for a second and a fourth with the Cleveland Browns. So we picked up a left tackle, Riddle, which is a 75 overall. And then in the fourth round, we then picked up a 76 left tackle as well, Hocker, and then left guard being Bennett. We also then picked up on the defense Langley for a left outside linebacker, 72, and then we picked up a God punter, 77 overall. Just we could make him turn into a kicker, just for the progress. But anyway, let's go to the next week, just so we get off draft, and let's have a look at our team focus, and we'll do some playing around with reordering our offense. I do want to make Kittle a starter, so I'm probably going to trade him. So edit him to become a center. Yep. He becomes a 74 overall. And so what I will do is then add to the trade block will be Sullivan. And then also Sakura, I will then also add to the trade block. As such. So then we also have Bennett there, which will then replace Saffold as he begins to regress, which if we click to progression, you can see he is regressing. So we could even start like 21 regression is going to hit hard. So we'll start the scheme fit over Saffold, so we'll put him also on the tree block and start our new um, offensive line, you know, on the left side, and we've got a pretty good pretty good team actually. Now on the defensive side of the ball, we do have some new players with Langley there, and I'm thinking of moving him. Actually, not sure yet. But yeah, we've got him as left outside linebacker. Now we could see how he goes chucking him on the inside. That would be interesting to see. See how he goes as middle linebacker. Let's try that. So let's go edit player. Because I wanted to get him some game time. So hold on. Oh, that was correct. So defense. What we might actually try and do is get some. We'll see what we can get as, well, we can just move into a starter. So we'll move Langley to a starter and we'll see how much trade value we can get for Smith. And then on special teams here, we've got Fisher, which is looking to be one of those emerging kickers. And so we'll actually start him and give Zulian the flick. We'll put him out on the trade block as well and see if we can get anybody else interested. So we'll sim to next week and we'll just do that to get simming the preseason, see what trades we get. So we straight away get a trade offer for the kicker, and we've got lots of draft picks. We've got 5s from Washington, 6th round, 4th round pick. Interesting. We could get 2 7s and a 5, or a 5 and a 6, 5, a 6. I think we'll send him to Miami. You know, let's send him to Miami, part ways, and start off our new career with our little players and new players. But yeah, let's keep simming. 2-0. No more trade offers just yet. Nope. Okay. Well, I'll sim to mid-season, and I'll meet you guys there. So at the midway mark, we are 3-4 in a very dominating division, with 6-2 and 5-2 being the Cardinals and Seahawks, with us being tied for last with the 49ers. And we've got a bit of an offensive line which is rebuilding and progressing pretty good. All of our new draft picks here are in the 74s and 76s, which is good. So let's offer some contracts before we move on and spend some coach XP. So we've got Brookers there, which we are wanting to bring back, and as well Jared Goff is also up for contract. So we'll get all that. Jared Goff, of course, we want to bring back our franchise quarterback, and he will stay. Talib will let go, but we're going to pick up Peters, and yep, he will stay. Talib we're going to get rid of. Higby will pick up again. You just want to try and get as much of your trading done, as much as your contract's done at the midway mark. And most of these guys want to stay anyway, and that's pretty much it, so we don't have to do any more for the rest of the season. And then we're just going to spend some coach XP. I just want to get some more offensive line training boost. So let's get O-line training boost and increase weekly XP. And so we'll see how that goes. Just making sure there's no other upgrades in that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes with our team, and we'll see how we go if we make it to the playoffs. So I'll meet you guys there. So at the end of year 2, we do not make the playoffs. We had an injury to our left tackle. If we look at we all went 8-8 as a division, so pretty terrible by NFC West. That's never happened, I don't think, ever. That's quite fascinating. But let's have a look at our stats for the year. We threw for 30 touchdowns with Jared Goff, with 9 interceptions for 3,700 yards. For rushing, we had 1.5 thousand 1,500 yards rushing with 8 touchdowns, 7 to Davis and 5 to Kelly. Receiving, we had no one breach the 1,000 receiving yards, 692 Woods, 910 to Cooks, and Higby and Cup also getting over 500. Defense, we had 112 tackles for Barron, with tackles for loss being 19 and Sanu tied together for the most. With sacks, it was 11.5 by Donald, which took the cake, and then 3 interceptions tied with Johnson and Trey Waynes. And we did have no touchdowns, no forced fumble recoveries or safeties. Yearly awards again went to Matt Ryan. I think this is rigged. Le'Veon Bell's now gone to Cincinnati. Not Cincinnati, Chicago. None of our players were on there. Coach of the year went to Hugh Jackson, with the Browns going 15-1, similar with Jason Garrett. Surprised that Hugh Jackson can actually get a win. Then looking at offensive player of the year, Drew Brees is still kicking. Jared Goff and Todd Gurley round out the top 10. Defensive player of the year went to Khalil Mack, not surprised. And we had nobody there. Offensive rookie of the year, we did not have anybody because we drafted lineman. Defensive, we had Langley get number 6. And yeah, that's pretty good. Not bad. Unfortunately, we did not get to the playoffs, so we'll go straight into year 3. No, I just looked at yearly awards. We'll go straight into year 3, but let's first have a look at our team and how they progressed. So we had our offensive line 77, 75, 75, and everyone else sort of progressing slowly. Todd Gurley is getting pretty close to being 99 overall. Defensive side of the ball, we did have Langley go up to a 72 with Long Acre moving across, so that's quite interesting. Snoo's still a 93 and everybody's still pushing up strong. Johnson's now up to an 88 with Joyner at 89, so looking to be a great safety pair there. Now we're looking at just seeing if we make it to the Pro Bowl, which I don't think we will, so we'll just skip that. But we've got some pretty good, interesting players on our squad, and we're just having a look just to see. Todd Gurley, number 3 there. And does not look like it. Donald got it on the list. And no. So that's okay. We're going to go to the off-season. We'll see who won the Super Bowl between the Green Bay Packers and the Jags. And the Jags win a close one, so interesting. But anyway, let's sim to free agency and see who leaves and who stays. So let's have a look at transactions. And looking at transactions with retired players, as you guys can start to see there. We had Danny Amendola, Aqib Talib, Jordy Nelson, Eli Manning, Adam Vinatieri, Philip Rivers, Sebastian Janikowski, and LeGarrette Blount also all retire. Now looking at what we need to do for free agency, we need to probably look at getting another backup. We have some, with the highest overall being a right guard. So that's all quite interesting. Jordan Howard's now out on the market. We could pick him up as a good backup there, but we'll leave him and let him go to somebody else. So we're good with players in our wide receivers. Let's have a look at tight ends. We could pick up Ebron, which is a higher overall, which I wouldn't be against picking up, and actually we probably will, and we'll put Everett out on the trade market. So we'll see. That's 83. Well, let's offer him 5 mil. Get up to a 29.1. And yeah, we'll see how if he takes that one. We'll get Eric Ebron over here. We've got young guys. I'm not expecting to do anything. And we're pretty good everywhere else. Cornerback, we've just got some good depth there, so we don't need to worry about that. But anyway, let's look to the end of the free agency and see who we pick up. And hopefully we pick up the 2 players we're looking at. So let's have a look. So did we pick up Ebron? No, so we didn't pick up Ebron, and we probably wouldn't pick up the other new face in defense. Did we get Trey Waynes? We must have got Trey Waynes. Anyway, let's have a look at, let's start the draft and I'll catch you guys at the end. So draft picks for the 2020 season. We pick up a cornerback in our first round with 78 overall. We pick up an absolute stud of a right tackle, 82 overall, star development, I think, by memory. Quick development, the cornerback was star development. This guy had no combine grade. I found him in the draft as I was just flicking through and decided to pick him up, and he is an absolute stud. Got a defensive tackle here, J. Michael Cherry, a 74. We just got another backup for Jared Goff, a 70 overall. That was just a bust. And then we got an undrafted, well, that was his rank, Torrey Rayford, good old tight end, sorry. So, yeah, good little team, and I'll catch you guys at the end of year 3, I think we're at. No. Yeah, so we'll be starting year 3, so I'll catch you guys at the end of that. So we did trade our left guard Saffold the third for a third. We traded him with a 6th-round pick for a third and a 7th from the Bills. And yeah, so we could fix up our team offensive line. But yeah, I'll meet you guys at the end. And we also traded Smith, right outside linebacker, for a first pick from the draft, from the Seahawks, sorry. And we also got rid of a 4th and a 6th pick in the 2022 season. So at the end of year 3, we are 10-6, which is not bad. Let's have a look at our front line. And as you guys can see, 85 overall Gurley, 79 Blythe, do not like that at all. I want him playing, but that's okay. 79, 76, sorry, 77, 82. We probably will get rid of Blythe. What's his contract like? Stats and contract. How many years is left on his contract? Contract. And got too many years. We'll probably trade him away or cut him at the end of the year. So we'll cut him at probably at the end of the year. See how we go. Todd Gurley's now 99 overall. Jared Goff up to a 91. Is that 91 or 97? 91. Brandon Cooks 91. And yeah. Defensive side of the ball. Snooze 92. Donald still an 899. Peters up to an 87. 80, 80, 73, 91, 89. Special teams. Our kicker is up to a 79, and we got a punter. It looks like a new punter at, or new kicker, sorry, at 70. And then specialists and practice. So let's have a look at yearly awards, and then we'll look at also stats. So MVP goes to Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, with none of our players getting on the list there. Coach of the Year went to Thomas Peter, that's okay. Sean McVay at number 7, if you can see there. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, of course, went to Aaron Rodgers, with us not even making the list. Defensive Player of the Year went to Bobby Wagner, with again none of our players on there. Rookie of the Year we had Corey Christian get in number 6, and defense we had Corey Reed come in at number 7. So let's have a look at the stats now, since we've had a look at everything else, and see how we went for the year. So Jared Goff throws for nearly 4,000 yards with 33 touchdowns and 18 interceptions, the most so far in this series. For rushing yards, again, we did not have a big year from Todd Gurley. I think he got injured, and as you can see, John Kelly took a majority of the load. As you can see, looks like Todd Gurley didn't play many games, but he got lots of yards averaged. Receiving, we had Brandon Cooks get 1,000 receiving yards with 12 touchdowns, and then everyone else shared the touchdowns and load. Defensive side of the ball, we had 99 tackles by Mark Barham, with the most tackles for loss also going to Sanu and Donald, and looks like Aaron Donald went off, no, Sanu, sorry, went off with 15 sacks, 7 to then Donald and Edward Calm, and then interceptions, 4 to Peters and 4 to Johnson. Doesn't look to be any touchdowns? No. No touchdowns and no safeties, so that's okay. So let's sim this week and see how we go against the 9 and 7 Cowboys, and we smoked them 42-3, and we now face the 13 and 2 Green Bay Packers, and we'll probably sim that and probably lose, just as a thing. But we know we win. We win 23-20, and we'll now jump in and simulate, and we'll just play the key moments, and yeah, see how we go. So we'll just go ready, and we'll see how the season goes. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this series. I know I have. I'll be releasing a lot of videos now of rebuilds. I've now officially moved into my new house, all set up pretty much. Just got to do some finalizing of things, finish up my gaming desk, which I'm working on for my Xbox and stuff, and also construct a new PC, which I'll be doing more Xbox slash PC games. But anyway.
Hello, everybody.
But anyway, hopefully this will be an interesting match. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to talk over the top as we have it playing. We're just going to have it sim and try and skip all the moments. It's going to keep asking me, but that's okay. Let me just go skip. Yep. And let me just go custom options, play key moments. Actually, no. Jump forward to end of game. So yeah, we'll just have that going, and yeah, so it's one of those times in my life where I've moved back up into the city and it's quite busy, but I should be able to get lots of episodes in, and yeah, we'll see how we go. And unfortunately, we come short
Really a
24
great
to
season,
27
not a whole lot to
against
hang their head about.
Not at
against the
all. And you know,
Redskins in
the winning side, there's
Conference Championship, I believe so, or Division, or one of the two. I can't remember which game it was, but unlucky. But yes, so I'll be releasing a lot of videos. I'm going to be away, so I'm going to have a more set ready to go for you guys all to watch, and yeah, hopefully you will all enjoy. So there we go, we've got nearly all of the training boosts we need. But yeah, so I'll be having a lot of episodes ready to go, pre-recorded mainly, and we'll see how all that goes. But hoping you have enjoyed the content I've been releasing. I've got new stuff coming out, and looking forward to releasing more. So yeah, so we're just having a look again at if we got any players on there. We did get Brandon Cooks on the NFC team, and then we're just looking at offense, if line and defense now. Sanu got on the list. Smith, since we moved into a different team. Marcus Peters, Johnson, strong safety, and yeah. So yeah, I've got lots of videos coming out for you guys. We'll be doing pretty much every rebuild. I'll be trying to get them out daily, so it means I got to do a lot of recording. Looking at doing possibly getting 2 videos done each day, and ready to go. So yeah. Now I don't know if you saw, but the Browns just won a Super Bowl, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah, we'll just bring back our kicker. This will be our final year. We're going year 4. All in or bust, you know, just do it. And Sanu, well, final year will just keep you rolling. He is regressing, but he's looking to play for a new team, so we'll let him do that. Cooper Kupp, he'll stay. Robbie Coleman, I hope to get back. And yeah, so hopefully this is going to test. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to run out of space. But anyway, I'm going to quickly have a quick cut and get this all stuff fixed up. But yeah, so let's quickly pause the video, and I'm going to just switch settings because my current disk space is about to fill up. But Mark Barron just regressed. Look how quickly he regressed. He's just dropped from a good player to just horrible. So that's just sad. So yeah, unfortunately. So anyway, I'm going to now, yeah, stop the video, change. I got to plug in a USB and probably change my microphone. So you probably quality will change a bit, but we'll be back just in one moment.